let's go. It's time to be the GOAT. It's time to enter God mode, man, let's get it going. I wanna be the greatest, energy is overflowing. I know I'm stoking the fire, my desire's taking over, not time.
Okay, you beautiful friends, welcome back to the back of the semi-truck, and you could tell by the thumbnail, you could tell by the title, the video that we're about to be going over this time is entitled something along the lines of 10 obscure My Little Pony facts that Hasbro does not want you to know. Now that caught my attention. I'm not too familiar with the channel that we're using. I think it's entitled Toon Time. Oh, dang. Now I feel bad for not fully remembering the title of the channel. But, nonetheless, though, if you want to check out the video down below, I'll have it in the description. I'll also try to remember to put it in a pinned comment. That way, y'all can go right on over there to that video, the original video that I'm watching, because this one is going to be in my, not my reaction style, where I play the video and watch it as it's happening without pausing and none of that stuff. It's just a first time viewing type thing. I don't have no pausing. This one's going to be more of the commentary type of lore style that I have. So 10 obscure My Little Pony facts that Hasbro don't want us to know. That caught my attention because I know a good deal about My Little Pony. So I'm thinking to myself, what does Hasbro not want us to know? Is this just clickbait? Is this just, what is this exactly? So I'm figuring, let's watch it all together. I'll do my pause, I'll do my commentary, then we'll hit that play button again and pause commentary. Y'all know the drill by now if you've been to a commentary channel. So if you stuck around this long, then you obviously know how it goes. So don't be complaining about how much I pause. Just jump over there to their video, and then you can come back over here and all that good stuff if you want to catch it before, I start doing all my pausing. And in fact, I encourage y'all to go watch their video first. So, yeah, I don't know what else to do other than let's go ahead and just check it out and see if they'll teach us something about Hasbro that just we don't know about yet. So, 3, 2, 1, and play.
Did you know that My Little Pony hides a secret that Hasbro wants to keep away from the public's eyes? Today, I will reveal 10 obscure facts about the series that will change your way to think about these lovely ponies. Get ready because what comes next is surprising. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie, and the first fact in this video...
Pause. So, I know I'm only 20 seconds in, but I do need to say out loud that I'm not familiar with the channel, but their shorts, I recognize the accent. Their shorts have come across my channel quite often. So I'm familiar with them to some degree. So I can put that out there. But we are about to jump into fact number 1. Whoever they are, they definitely set this up pretty good to keep you intrigued. Like, I do want to know how it's going to change my viewpoint of My Little Pony forever. So, fact number 1 is coming up. Let's go ahead and play.
Video is about the slavery that the ponies in the Crystal Empire suffered for many years during Sombra's regime. I believe that many of you guys already know about this one, and that's why it is in the first place on the list. But we can't ignore the fact that we saw ponies chained and being tortured by a tyrant pony chief. Besides the slavery, the ponies were psychologically tortured all day. And even after years without Sombra, the Crystal Ponies still have the scar from this horrible time. He was basically a dictator. And I'll tell you more, the 2 deaths that he got weren't enough, okay? He should have had at least a little bit of more suffering.
Pause. Okay, so when she puts it in that perspective, yes, I do agree that they had a lot of psychological damage, and even all these years later, they're still suffering all these years later with constantly living under that fear that maybe he's going to return and this and that. And you know what? Hey, having 2 deaths for Sombra, maybe it's not enough. Maybe he should just keep coming back and keep getting, knocked off by, the ponies. I don't know. Also, another thing real fast, I know I say this sometimes, but noise outside might creep in. I drive a semi-truck, so it might happen. I don't know. But let's start back into this and see what else she's going to say about this one. I think she's going to move on to the next fact, though, real fast. And play.
Since his pulverization was too quick in my opinion. But let's keep in mind that if that were to happen, I think that it wouldn't be on a kid's cartoon, okay? Pinkie Pie has a severe depression, and no, I'm not making it up. Every time that the pony gets upset with her friends, she gets really sad, and her hair goes straight, and sometimes she would even lose her pinky color. Not to mention that she was born in a lair with lack of love and happiness, which would have increased the pony's depression even more.
Pause. Okay, so I agree that she might have some depression. I agree with that. But I don't necessarily agree that she was born with a lack of love. Yeah, I mean, she grew up on a rock farm, and it seems a little harsh, but her parents obviously love her and took care of her and all these things. She just grew up to be bubbly and happy and just bouncing all over the place, whereas all the rest of the Pie family kind of just stood in their, rock hard shells, for the lack of a better type of, I guess, being on a rock being on a rock farm is a good metaphor for, their, outlook on life. They got a rough, tough exterior, so yeah, I believe she's had plenty of love growing up. So I can't necessarily agree with that part, but I agree that she's possibly clinically depressed. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but at the same time, it is what it is. Let's continue and play.
But Julie, Pinkie Pie is super happy, laughing all the time. By any chance, have you even heard of the sentence, the cloud makes everyone smile, but who makes the clown smile? Well, that's Pinkie Pie. Her depression is masked behind that energy and happiness that she tries to show everyone. So much that she is always doing something to maintain her mind occupied, which would help her to suppress that depression, always from her sad thoughts. Not to mention that one of the signs of depression is a huge appetite, and in Pinkie's case, that would be severe.
Pause. Does that mean I've got depression? Because I've got quite the healthy appetite. Maybe. I don't know. I could have depression. I don't know. Maybe all this is just a mask. So, yeah, I better stop talking about that. The mask might come off. So let's continue, because I'm about to go in the store and help my healthy appetite, because stuff is going in that microwave here very, very soon, because I've got to get some dinner. So let's continue and play.
Just notice she is always eating sweets, probably to cheer her life up, almost like a chemical dependency. I believe that that's why she becomes friends with everybody, so she can fill her head with something, keeping it occupied. Fluttershy is super aggressive, and no, I'm not talking about the episode that Iron Will turns the sweetest pony of all the time into the most aggressive and mean pony of Equestria. I'm talking about our Fluttershy, that is hidden behind all that shyness of hers. I think that the first time that we saw Fluttershy being mean was in episode 7 of the first season, when she got really mad because of a huge dragon in a cave that was mean to her friends. And guys, things got so messy that the poor dragon was in tears in the end of it. But it was in the episode Grand Galloping Gala that I realized that this pony has problems to control her anger. Because once again she gets really pissed off, and that time because some animals didn't want to give her attention. She was practically making the animals want to stay with her. And for me, this would be the result of the bullying that she went through when she was younger, when the Pegasus messed up with her because she didn't know how to fly properly, or because she was skinnier than most fillies. Then, to not lost it at the moment, she would store all the hate and the things that she wishes to say to these ponies. But there would be a moment that she would get so full of it that she would end up discharging it all in the first pony that appeared in front of her. So much that...
Pause. Okay. So I know that they're about to go into some more explanation as to why they believe that Fluttershy is like super aggressive. But so far, honestly, no knock against them. Everybody loves good theory videos. So far, I don't feel like it's going to pan out because other than that one episode where she became mean Fluttershy, which that was a really good episode, I don't think she's got like an aggressive anger issue or nothing, as you know, we're getting portrayed here, because even in those instances that was described, we don't, that people have momentary lapses where they just get really upset and lash out. That's kind of a normal thing for anybody to do. So I really don't understand the whole anger thing here where she's trying to describe. But maybe with this next part, that's what we'll get. So let's continue and see what we get. And
But it wasn't out of nowhere that in the episode Power Ponies we see Fluttershy has the power like the Hulk every time she gets mad. But now tell me, did you guys know about this one? If not, continue in this video because I'm sure the next ones will catch you off guard too.
Pause. Okay, so really fast, just to kind of touch more on what she just said, it is a good nod to Fluttershy when they were the Power Ponies, where her strength and her power was kind of becoming the Hulk-like, you know, of all of them. So that is a really good little, you know, something to point to, but I think that's really more along the lines of, hey, look, you wouldn't like her when she's angry type thing. So she just has those momentary spots where she does get angry. I wouldn't say that she's got an aggressive streak or anything necessarily. So as far as that one, number 8 for me, nah, sorry. It is what it is though. So let's continue and see what else we might not know that's pretty obscure that Hasbro just doesn't want us to know about. So far I'm enjoying it. It's a good list, fun, enjoyable, something a little off the wall for me to do around here because I've been doing the lore videos, but now I'm kind of wanting to just jump into like quick little videos that I could hit pause and talk with y'all in a moment. You know, videos that are like 10 to 15 minutes long that I could literally just do what I'm doing here. So let's continue and play. Oh, messed it up. Let's continue and play.
Celestia is a tyrant. Guys, I'm flabbergasted that so many fans don't realize and don't even think about this possibility. For starters, the ponies are condemned to live in either Ponyville or Canterlot. An example, in the episode Bridal Gossip, the ponies are afraid of going inside the Everfree Forest, like it was some cursed place or too scary for them. And the end of the day, it was just a regular unknown place. And now I ask you, who came up with this idea that it was a bad place? Don't believe me yet? So answer me, where the heck did Celestia get that dragon egg that would later be Twilight's assistant?
Pause. Okay, so I know this little theory has been going around quite a bit that Celestia is nothing but a tyrant, dictator type person. And I can see where it's coming from. Don't get me wrong. She does kind of rule with an iron fist. But to be fair, they do have other places to choose to live other than Ponyville and Canterlot. I mean, we got Philadelphia and we got Las Pegasus. And there's a lot of other cities out there other than just these two places for ponies to live. Unless maybe she's saying in this general area that Celestia seems to have rule over, but wouldn't she have rule over a lot of, like, you know, Philadelphia, Las Pegasus? Yes, that's the only two that are coming. Oh, no, she wouldn't have rule over Saddle Arabia. I think it's Saddle Arabia at least. She wouldn't have rule over that, but maybe just in that general area. I get the Everfree Forest is, I get what she's saying about Everfree Forest, okay. But in all reality, those are just, you know, tales that have grown over time. And people are scared of the forest because they don't know what's in it anymore. Hasn't been explored as much. I don't know. Celestia is still a tyrant. So let's continue. And as far as the egg for Spike, Yeah, that's kind of a little weird. Let's continue and play.
And the princess didn't even show Twilight how to take care of Spike, since she would be a filly taking care of a baby dragon. Want another one? Why did Celestia never properly updated her sister about the current state of Equestria? Man, Luna was trapped in the moon for 1,000 years. Then, when she finally tries to get along with the ponies, she can't, since it seems like she's stuck in the old Equestria, and didn't even know how to speak properly, without using her royal speak. Man, come on! What kind of sister Celestia was to Luna? But the thing that most amazes me is Celestia letting Fluttershy take care of Philomena, knowing very well that she was going to die before she returns back from the ashes. Man, Fluttershy was so traumatized by seeing Celestia's pet dying in her paws. I'm almost sure that the pony was fearing being banned from Equestria by killing the princess pet. Seriously, think about it. Equestria is under a strict authoritarian regime without knowing about it. Screwy. A pony.
Balls, okay. To be fair, that was one heck of a troll move by Celestia when her phoenix died. Although, let's also be fair, if Fluttershy knows everything that she knows about animals, then a legendary creature such as a phoenix should definitely be on her radar, like, oh hey, these things die and then they rise again from the ashes type thing. So, good troll move on Celestia's part, but yeah, she's a tyrant. So, yeah, whatever I just saw said screwy, so we're dealing with something screwy next. Let's continue and play.
Pony that appeared for the first time in the episode Read It and Wit when Rainbow Dash is being chased by the doctors in the hospital after she tries to take her own book out of there. And while she ran away from the ponies, we can hear a dog barking. Something that was actually screwy. A pony that was mentally unstable. And by her appearance, the pony must have come out straight from a mental health facility or trying to somehow be treated in the pony hospital. And to show how insane this pony is, look at her name, Screwy, meaning crazy. And that said, the fans had the idea to call her Screwy Lucy, referencing her cutie mark. Some episodes we can see her in a regular state, but always with a big dark circle under her eyes and a tired look. Did she really have her head fixed? Maybe, but it is still unsure how Screwy got this way. Like, what has she done to lose her mind? If you guys know anything, feel free to comment down below, okay?
Balls. Okay, so I really got to go find more about this background character of Screwy, because I've never knew that there was a mental patient in Equestria somewhere, because holy crap, that's going to actually change some things in my head for me if I, when I'm watching the show again, because it's like, what the frick? Screwy's right there. She's a mental patient. That episode particularly, Read It and Weep, is where I need to actually watch so I can actually check out more about her. So yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that we had mental patients. So we're halfway done though, so let's continue this and see what we get from here. And
Tartarus prison is hell. For those who know about Greek mythology, you must have noticed that the name of the prison that is under Equestria is the same as the old Greek god Tartarus, who is basically the personification of chaos. And as if that wasn't enough, the place is a gate kept by three-headed dog Cerberus, who is in Greek mythology as well, and is responsible for keeping the gates of the underworld. In other words, Equestria has a literal hell as a prison. And to think that Cozy Glow went there, things get really dark all of a sudden, because they rather send a minor there before trying to talk to her and understand her reasons for being so megalomaniac. But no, they had to send her straight to Tartarus because she couldn't be fixed. Lies. I believe that Celestia and the others just didn't want to worry about Cozy. Trixie almost unalived herself.
balls. Okay, so I need to be careful with getting too far ahead of myself. So, yeah, okay. I don't know why it didn't click in my head before, but yeah, they sent a little kid to hell. It's kind of funny. It's only funny because it's, some pastel colored ponies, and they've got some dark secrets and lore behind them that a lot of people just don't think about. So, yeah, that's why I find it funny, because the thought of Twilight and the rest of the gang sending Cozy Glow essentially to hell, kind of funny. But then the next thing that we were about to jump into was Trixie almost killed herself, which this is kind of true. She did almost kill herself, but in what way? I kind of know where we're going with this, but let's find out. And play.
Man, I never noticed this until I began to write the script. Trixie wanted to pull a Houdini, which is a reference to the real-life Houdini, by getting inside a manticore's mouth and get out alive. But this is something that is almost impossible, since it would require a pretty high skill level not to be swallowed by the monster. And if Twilight didn't talk to Starlight in this episode, the pony wouldn't have come to Trixie's spectacle and saved her for being eaten alive by the manticore. And guys, Trixie was so upset and at the same time afraid that she basically threw herself in the beast's mouth without thinking twice. Imagine how the audience would have reacted seeing this brutal scene. Trixie must thank Twilight that made Starlight change her mind about not going and saving her friend with her magic. Oh.
Okay, so pause before we jump into Opaline. No. She just thought that she could actually do the trick. She didn't almost kill her. Well, to a certain degree, I guess, yes, she did almost kill herself, but she just thought she could do the trick. That's the way I gathered it from that episode. Maybe I need to rewatch the episode or something, because I figured when she was calling that, minor Ursa whatever bear down, I thought maybe that's where we were going with this. Like, oh, she almost killed herself because of the bear. But we're talking about the Manicore, so it's like, I see where you're going, but I don't know if I'm feeling that one as much, because I don't know. I figure she just thought she could do the trick, and she's just too naive to understand that, no, if you go into this mouth of this Manicore, you're going to not survive this, so you need to think twice. So I guess, I don't know, I really can't think too much about that one too much, because maybe that's just, I hate saying it, maybe it was just filler in order to have, 10 slots here. I don't know. Either way, let's listen to her talk about Opaline now, and
Opaline will wither away without dying. After Sunny and the other ponies unite to beat the villain, the magic of the terrestrial ponies makes so that a tree forms around Opaline and lock the alicorn in that place. The thing is, how cruel were they by letting the villain inside the tree forever, with no food and water? That would result either in the pony dying from starvation or dehydration. But the fans forgot that she is an alicorn, and these creatures live for many centuries, meaning that Opaline will remain alive after 1,000 years. And just so you remember, Nightmare Moon, who remained a millennium inside the moon, got out of the air pretty healthy. Just a little weakened because of the spell, really. Now think about Opaline that had the same fate as Nightmare Moon, but without the thing of coming back 1,000 years.
Okay, so when I realized when I was first watching the final, because I'm presuming we're pretty much done with Generation 5, and it's not that wasn't necessarily the final, but that's the final in my head right now. Pretty much with Opaline's final, it clicked in my head like, hey, whoa, y'all are literally just wrapping her up in a tree and leaving her there? She gonna die. But it's a good point right here that she's bringing out, like, she is an alicorn. They do, live for a long time, which means she's going to be inside that tree 1,000 years later, because obviously an alicorn probably doesn't need that much food substance to stay alive and healthy and able to keep going. And holy crap, that is actually worse than death. Geez, to be stuck in something like that for thousands of years is just crazy. That is no, she's stuck in the tree. Holy crap, that is messed up, y'all. Hasbro might not actually want y'all to know about these things and think about them too much. Maybe the title wasn't clickbait. I don't know, but let's listen to her continue about this. And play.
Later, and also without her mark, meaning no powers. I believe that in this state, the Alicorn would rather die than remain in this tiny prison for all eternity. Did she really deserve this? Opaline's story is similar to Lucifer's one. Man, it's not possible that it's just me who realized that, because I googled some forums of My Little Pony and no one talked about this. Opaline lived in a city in the skies, basically heaven, where everything was perfect, and by knowing that she is powerful, she wanted to every Alicorn to be adored like gods, just because they were superior in every aspect compared to regular ponies. And because of her narcissistic personality, the other Alicorns banned her from Skyros, making her live down in Earth. And not satisfied with this, Opaline goes to Equestria to seek chaos among the ponies. A lot like Lucifer's story, that was just an angel in the sky, being practically the right hand.
Balls. Okay. I was a little skeptical at first, but let's be fair. I mean, the story does add up a little bit. I mean, Opaline pretty much sees herself as the Most High. Like, hey, I'm on the same level up here. Y'all should be worshiping me. I'm powerful, y'all. Y'all should be worshiping me. I can see this comparison. Pretty good comparison, but I'm not going to necessarily say it's 100% confirmed type thing, because, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty generic story if we're being honest. So, yeah. Okay, let's continue and
of God, and he knew this because he started to brag about it and wanted to be better than God, promising to himself that he would take over his throne one day. And because of that, God banishes Lucifer from heaven forever, making him a fallen angel. Not satisfied with that, he makes every human on earth to act the worst way possible. In other words, he was expelled by his pride and wanted to humiliate God's creation by making it sin. And with Opaline, it wasn't different, since she made all the ponies rebel on purpose after she was banned from Skyros. Now tell me, does this really make sense, or am I tripping? I want to know your opinions, okay? Fluttershy's premonition. In the episode Over a Barrel from season 1, Pinkie Pie and Twilight argue with Rainbow Dash about Fluttershy not being a tree, and then the pony says that she would like to be a tree, which doesn't make any sense and became a joke among the fans. But the joke isn't funny anymore when we see the episode A Health of Information from season 7, where Fluttershy finds out that Zecora has the swamp fever, which doesn't have a cure yet and turns the infected one in trees. So far so good. The problem begins when Fluttershy ends up infected, but because it's a family cartoon, obviously she can find a cure in time before she becomes a tree. In case you didn't notice, Fluttershy almost became what she said that she wanted to be back in.
Okay, balls. Let's be fair. I get what... Let's be real. This wasn't like no premonition or anything like that. Fluttershy was just being cute Fluttershy, being like, I'd like to be a tree. Yeah, that was just her being that way. And I'm just going to say, it's coincidental that, you know, the disease that they got is something that would turn them into a tree. But maybe here in the next, I don't know, we got 30 some odd seconds left in this video that we're going through. Maybe sometime within there, we're going to find something that's actually like, hey, you know what, maybe this is confirmed. Maybe in G5 or something, maybe they had something in there that shows a tree that looks like Fluttershy. But let's be real, Fluttershy didn't get turned into a tree or have the premonition that maybe I can get turned into a tree. I mean, it is like they said, it's a family-friendly show, so she's gonna find a cure. But we can't really twist it and say, but what if really she did turn into a tree and we got a fake flutter? No, none of that happened. But let's find out what's going to be said. And
Season 1, a tree. And to make things worse, if you take a look in this tree that is shown in the doctor's book and the tree from the scene, there is no doubt many ponies have become trees throughout the years. All this time we were seeing ponies' corpses that have become trees. This makes that AU about the swamp fever be more plausible than what we thought. But hey, did you know about these obscure facts? Which of them caught you off guard? And which was the worst one? Tell me in the comment section, okay? And feel free to suggest more themes about My Little Pony. Thank you a lot for watching this video till here, and hasta la vista.
Okay, so I see where we're going with that now. So not necessarily Fluttershy was the tree, but other people. Okay, ponies. Other ponies are the ones who have become trees in, you know, the MLP universe. That actually makes sense. That makes more sense than I thought we were going to go towards. So that's, I've heard the theory. I've heard that before. I just didn't know that's the direction we're going. I thought maybe we were going to a Fluttershy being a tree sort of direction, but that makes sense too. So when you look around Ponyville and see those kind of trees now, that used to be a pony. So yeah, that actually changes the show completely when you slow down long enough to think about it. So maybe Hasbro didn't want us to know a few of these or to think about a few of these too much more in detail, because when you slow down to think about it, there's a lot of trees out there that could have been ponies, which changes the show forever. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot of trees in the background. Those were ponies. So I don't know. I don't know if anything actually threw me off that much. Maybe the tree one, since it was the last one, maybe that's the one that threw me off the most. So I don't know about y'all, but which ones threw y'all off more? I'll ask the same question that they're asking from their video. So which one threw y'all off the most? Which one do y'all believe? And all that good stuff. I do believe that last one. To be fair, that last one is probably the most legit one there is. So I do believe that one. So I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking right now. Other than that though, I think I need to just go ahead and end it and say, hey, please go check out the original creator. I do get some of their shorts that pop up on my feed from time to time, so I am familiar with them. This is the first time no, maybe the second time. This is the second time. I think I'm actually subscribed to them. I think I'm subscribed just from the shorts in general. So yeah, go over there, check them out, see if you like what you see, if you like what you're seeing here. They got more of that stuff over there. So go subscribe to them, watch their original video, come back. I don't know what I'm saying here at the end, so I'm just going to shut up. Y'all know the drill. Leave your comments down below. Hit the like. Tickle to subscribe. Don't be texting and driving. Watch what you love and love what you watch. And take it away, Mr. Rogers.
I like you just the way you are.